Up-and-coming country star Luke Combs had just started his set on the smaller of the two festival stages, when Cody Robertson, an auto parts salesman from Columbus, Ohio, squeezed in at the end of the bar next to Michelle Vo, an insurance agent from Los Angeles. The 32-year-olds connected immediately. They joked about their mutual love of golf. He recommended new beers for her to try, as she showed him the large floral tattoo covering much of her back. They realized that they were both staying at the Luxor. A longtime country music fan, Robertson was in Vegas with a group of friends, and told Vo about the fun they'd had at last year's Route 91 Harvest Festival. Vo replied that she'd only recently fallen for the genre. This was her first festival. She was here alone. By the time the night's final act took the main stage, the fast friends had settled into a spot about 20 yards from the right side of the stage, nestled between a few cuddly married couples, and a rambunctious bachelorette party. Then the first shots were fired. It was 10:08 p.m. Robertson and Vo searched the air for the fireworks they assumed they were hearing. Then came a second burst, indiscriminate gunfire hailing from a 32nd floor window at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Screams punctuated the pop pop pop. Jason Aldean, the headline act, ran from the stage. A bullet pierced the left side of Vo's chest. She got hit and I turned and saw her immediately fall to the ground, Robertson recalls. She was literally right beside me, maybe 2 feet away. Robertson threw his body on top of hers as a shield from the bullets, and, when the firing finally seemed to stop, worked with another man to carry Vo out of the venue, pausing for cover each time the gunfire resumed. Sunday night's massacre in Las Vegas, the deadliest mass shooting in modern American history, left at least 59 people dead, and 527 injured. Frantic accounts and shaky videos from the venue replay the pandemonium as thousands of concert-goers began trying to hide and scrambling to escape. "Michelle, Michelle!" Robertson screamed as he and the other man took turns performing CPR on Vo, who was no longer responsive. "Wake up!" Finally outside, Robertson spotted a white pickup truck, whose driver was headed to a hospital. He sat Vo down on the truck bed, then ran back toward the stage. Back inside, clusters of bodies lay crumpled along the ground as ammunition dinged the metal roof of the bar near the back of the venue. Robertson saw people hiding behind food stands. Dozens crouched horrified beneath the bleacher seats. In the heartbeats between bullets, Robertson and other would-be rescuers ran from person to person, checking pulses and pulling bleeding bodies to safety. "We put a girl on a beer cooler to try to push her out. We were carrying people out on the steel barriers from the perimeter," Robertson said. Wives screaming at husbands to wake up, and a husband on top of his wife trying to do CPR. He was shot helping people during the Las Vegas shooting. His heroics helped his photo go viral. Then he saw it, Vo's purse, on the ground near where they'd been dancing. Her phone wasn't inside, so he furiously called the number Vo had given him earlier until, finally, someone answered. Another group of concert-goers had picked up the phone as they ran for the exits. Robertson could pick it up at Planet Hollywood. By the time he retrieved it, Vo's phone was full of frantic text messages and voicemails, which he couldn't open without her passcode. The consensus of workers at a nearby casino was that Desert Springs was the closest hospital, so Robertson started walking, on the way texting his own family and friends to let them know that he was safe. It was past 3 a.m. by the time he arrived, and the hospital was locked down. No one was allowed in, and little information was coming out. The blood covering his jeans and arms had begun to dry dark crimson when Vo's phone buzzed. "Please tell me that she's okay." Jeremiah Hawkins, 37, the husband of Vo's oldest sister, begged through the phone. Robertson relayed what he knew. She had been shot in the chest and taken to a hospital. He'd keep looking until he found her. He promised. Robertson had been waiting for more than an hour before the lockdown ended, and people were slowly allowed into the hospital. It had been hours since he'd seen Vo, and, with her purse still clutched in his arms, he ran up to a police officer just inside the entrance. "Do you have a woman named Michelle? 5'3", Asian. A big flower tattoo on her back. She won't have any ID on her. I have her purse." The officer checked. Vo wasn't there. Robertson called all of the other hospitals he could find. None of them had her. He dialed the information line set up by the police, at least 60 times he thinks. Nothing. Still pacing in the hallway of Desert Springs, he dialed Hawkins, and told him that he still didn't know much. Eventually, the hospital staff told Robertson,